What was your first experience with 3D Mario? Was it Super Mario 64? Maybe Sunshine? If you're a bit younger, I'd imagine 3D World or Odyssey. But for myself and many others my age, it was this. Super Mario Galaxy. God damn, is this a good game. It completely improved upon the already widely successful Mario game formula while also being respectful to previous games. While both Mario 64 and Sunshine took the approach of having less maps with the benefit of having a larger area for the player to explore, Galaxy opted to go full on and offer up a whole 42 maps in the form of galaxies. Granted, the levels in Galaxy play out to be a lot more limited and linear than the former two games, but that isn't necessarily a negative, it's just different. One notable example of this is the fact that in Mario 64 you can enter a painting with the goal of obtaining a star one way and end up completing the level with a completely different star that you didn't originally plan to collect yet. However, in Mario Galaxy, the star you choose before the start of the level is the one you will finish with. This is because in the game the galaxies will change slightly depending on the level you choose. It will make you follow a slightly different linear path to ensure that you complete the level how the game intended you to. This may sound restricting, but when you're playing the game you don't really notice much. It just keeps the game fast paced and simple to understand. Mario Galaxy was released for the Wii on November 1st, 2007, making it... Hang on. How long ago was November 2007? Almost 15 years old? God damn, is this game old. Anyway, ignoring that, being made for the Wii, you can bet it had motion controls built into the game. Usually, I'm not one to enjoy motion controls overly much, but in this game, it just works. More than that, it enhances the experience for the player. The use of motion controls allowed for a new move to be added to the game, the spin, one of Mario's best moves to date. This move was so versatile, it could be used to get extra height on a jump or as an attack to knock over enemies. While I'm on the topic of gameplay and controls and moves, let me just say how wonderful this game feels. Mario's movements have such a weight to them. You can almost feel every step, jump and hit. It's impressive. Another new gameplay feature or mechanic added to this game that cannot be overlooked is gravity. Because the game takes place in space, Nintendo had to rework how gravity affected Mario as you traverse through all the different galaxies. In this game, you can jump off a platform or planetoid only to be caught by its gravitational orbit, causing you to drift around the area until you land back on it, or possibly get caught by the gravitational pull of another area. This is such a fun mechanic. You would also be shot from planetoid to planetoid at high speeds via launch stars around the galaxy. What more could you want? Graphically speaking, despite the Wii's native resolution being 480p, this game is beautiful, and it runs at a consistent 60 frames per second. I mean, the colours were so vibrant, and the variety of galaxy types left for a lot of creative environments to appreciate and enjoy. Whether it's a haunted mansion, tropical beach, flourishing garden, or a scorching desert, the game looks spectacular. I'd go as far to say that it even holds up pretty well still today. A major standout for Super Mario Galaxy was the fact that they decided to use a full orchestra for the game's music. I can't express enough how hard this music goes. Like everything else in the game, the music has such a large range and understanding of its purpose and environments. It's one of the first soundtracks from a game that I downloaded and listened to while I wasn't playing the game. The fact that it can go from giving you a grand feeling of excitement and adventure one moment to a feeling of peace and relaxation the next, it's astounding. There aren't enough words to truly give this soundtrack any justice, so just have a listen for yourself. Here, the first 10 seconds are on me. Okay, time's up. I won't be the first to admit that Mario games don't usually have a lot going for them in the story department, and Galaxy is no major exception of that. However, what it does do, it goes beyond anything we've seen before, depending on your views of Sunshine. In this game, Bowser rocks up with his ships and blows shit up before using a UFO to straight up yoink Princess Peach's castle from the planet, and then the magical prick yeets Mario off into space where the rest of the game will take place. Look, if you want a more original story from the game, you'll have to find it by going into the library, in which you'll find Rosalina reading a story to her Lumas. This story progresses with the game. As you collect more Power Stars, Rosalina will reveal more chapters of her book. Speaking of Rosalina, you meet her at the beginning of the game after saving one of her Lumas, and as such, you somehow make a deal with her, where if you collect the Power Stars to power her ship, she will take us to Bowser so we can save Peach. Again. In saying that, Rosalina's ship, otherwise known as the Comet Observatory, does serve as the main hub world of the game. It's a cool area. Does it offer a lot to do? No. But it is still charming and fun to explore with some unique ideas and designs to keep things interesting. For example, at the beginning of the game, the hub world music is quiet and soft, but as you progress through the game it becomes louder and much grander to represent everything that is going on. This game, like many Mario games before it, has a selection of power-ups that you'd be given the opportunity to use. Mario Galaxy had 7 power-ups in total, with 5 of them being new and unique to this game, so let's get it out of the way. The Rainbow Invincibility Star of course made a return to the franchise alongside the Fire Flower, which had a time limit now. Both power-ups function pretty much the same as previous games, except now in 3D. Now the new power-ups, this is where things start to get unique. The Spring Mushroom, it trapped Mario in a spring and made you jump really high. However, it was a pain in the ass to control, so kind of meh. The Red Star was super cool, allowing you to fly around. Unlike the Spring, it controlled like a dream, Chef's Kiss, although it was only used in one level and the observatory, so once again, kind of meh. The Ice Flower allowed you to traverse on water and lava by turning them into ice platforms as you skated over them. Very fun to use. The Boom Mushroom turned you into a ghost, where shaking the Wii Remote would turn you intangible for a few seconds, but bright lights would make you lose your power. Love the concept, it's adorable. Now the Bee Mushroom, this one was standout for this game. Believe it or not, I'm sorry. It turned Mario into a bee. It gave you the ability to fly for a few seconds, and you could also climb honey walls. Touching water made you lose this power. Damn, I loved it. All up, I'll say the power-ups in this game are a mixed bag, but if it came to it, I'd rather have them than not. Mario Galaxy has so many great galaxies to explore and just take in, with some of the highlights including the Good Egg Galaxy, the first galaxy you will encounter, and once you land on that first planetoid, you know you're in for a good time. The music, the visuals, it's a definition of a great first impression. The Honey Hive Galaxy is full of bees and a large area to explore, with fun music, excellent platforming, and the introduction to Bee Mario. This is a classic to be sure. And then you have Space Junk Galaxy. Who knew that running across debris in space could be so calming and enjoyable? Beach Bowl Galaxy. It's a beach, in a bowl, in space, with penguins. What more must be said about this one? Gusty Garden Galaxy. A beautiful garden galaxy with many planetoids to run around on. Oh, you also glide on a flower through the wind, and once again, top tier music to go alongside it. And don't get me started on Freeze Flame Galaxy. Lava and ice at the same time? Get out of here, that's awesome. Plus, you get to use both the ice and fire flower. Perfect. And then, there's Toy Time Galaxy, where you start on a toy train and adventure around wooden blocks and robots, a true personification of childhood. These galaxies I just mentioned, they're just scratching the surface of all the amazing locations this game will take you through. This game has so much replayability to it as well, because once you finish the game with 120 Power Stars as Mario, you can replay the whole thing again as Luigi. And you know what? It's just as fun, because they switch it up by making Luigi jump high and run faster than Mario, but they also balance that out by making him have less traction, causing him to slip around a lot more. With all that being said, I think it's impossible to dislike Super Mario Galaxy, especially after the production value Nintendo put into this game all the way back in 2007. Between the gameplay, graphics, and the spectacular soundtrack, I think it would be fair to call this one of Nintendo's greatest 3D Mario games. I mean, sure, I played and enjoyed Odyssey, but honestly, as great as that game is, it just couldn't compare to the feeling Galaxy gave me. I've replayed Mario Galaxy countless times, however, I'm yet to find myself replaying Odyssey. And that's nothing against Odyssey, it's a great game. It's more a testament to how well Super Mario Galaxy holds up even today, as well as a touch of nostalgia. So when it really comes down to it, in my opinion, Super Mario Galaxy is the best 3D outing to date, as well as being the only mainline 3D Mario game to have a full-on sequel in the form of Super Mario Galaxy 2.